And you are back on the Tortoise and Hare experience, and you just heard the song Incendiary by our guest, which you can find on their Facebook, facebook.com/Michael Grant Official. Michael Grant, welcome.
Hello, pleasure to be here.
Oh, so now you're British.
Just for the intro.
That's it.
And then I become an American.
Oh, darn.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches. I love sandwiches.
I love them too.
On gluten-free bread.
So, Michael Grant and the Assassins, that is your band. I love a musician that carries around assassins with them. Well, tell me about that decision.
The Assassins is just it's an image, I guess, you put in your head, and I'm like, oh my God. It's actually a big contrast because some of our songs are not that hard. It's like something that's ironic. You know, people are like, oh my God, the Assassins are going to be so fucking hard. And you come out all sweet. Hey,
Oh, sweet.
making love to your eardrums. Like, wow, I didn't know Assassins could be so sweet.
Well, Incendiary, the song that we just heard, that song is a pretty, hard song.
Right.
Yeah, not so sweet.
No.
No, but you guys look sweet. Well,
Yeah,
except for the guy with the mohawk.
We like to dabble in the dark side and in the light as well.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I like about you guys.
I'm a singer-songwriter, so I just like to write songs, not really focus on like, oh, we have a style and it has to be this style. It's more like if we feel that this is a good song, if I feel it's a strong song, regardless if it's folk, if it's electronic dance music influenced or whatever, if either a rock song or a big anthem, like it doesn't matter as long as it's a good song.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's talk about Incendiary. We were talking off the air, and you were saying that that's a new word, but doesn't that like mean like flame or something like that?
It's like to combust, when two things come together to combust, and I wouldn't say it's a new word, but I've noticed when I tell a friend or whatever what the song title is, and I'm like, Incendiary. Oh, and they'll kind of pretend they know what it means, and they'll be, right, that's a great title, that's a great word. And I'll just be like, you don't have a goddamn clue what that means, right? He's like, no, that's the first time I've ever heard it. So it's not that it's a new word, it's just one of those words in the English language that don't get used very much,
Yeah. There's lots of those, especially in Los Angeles. I find that nobody speaks correctly.
No, they have a whole language to themselves.
And that's starting to piss me off lately. I don't know if you find this, Turtle, but when you're talking to people and they're cutting words in half, it's like they don't even say goodbye anymore. It's just late. It's not even later. It's just late.
Late.
And then they hang up, and you're like, what? Did the phone cut off? What's with that?
Or like session has turned into sesh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's like,
If there's
what?
any more like abbreviated nicknamed words like sesh or din or like whatever, I can't take those.
Which is hilarious because like din din is longer than dinner.
Yeah, some of these abbreviations are longer than the words, have more syllables.
Yeah, it's like for seer. For seer? Is that like seriously?
If someone said that to me, I would punch them in the face.
Right, I think you should.
For seer.
Twice.
Seriously.
For seer.
You should make a song or something, about this.
I might broach this. This might be a subject I've overlooked.
Yeah. We just had on the drills, and Phil X writes these songs that are very clever.
Love
and yeah, he's hysterical. He has a song with that I was listening to this morning, and the lyric is, I want to punch you in the face with my lips.
Whoa.
I love that. That's awesome.
Finally, somebody said it.
Exactly.
No, Phil actually has some of the best song titles I've ever heard.
Right, yeah, we were just looking at his record.
We were talking, like my favorite is I Wish My Beer Was As Cold As Your Heart. I remember the first time I was watching him at the House of Blues, and he was like, I wish my beer was as cold as your heart. And I was thinking, oh shit, it's going to be this country song. It breaks out, it's just fucking super rock and roll.
And in some way you're like, man, I would really like a cold beer that cold.
And I'd like a girl who's colder.
Well, I'm sure that's pretty easy to find in L.A.
In L.A.?
Especially at the House of Blues.
Oh my God, everyone's so warm here. Welcoming.
Oh, I know, they
kidding me?
are. Yeah, well, the way you look,
No.
lots of people want to welcome you.
There's this saying, I like my women like I like my milk, white and cold.
I do like a milky though. I actually do like the milky. The milky skin. I'm a sucker for that.
Milky.
That
Milky
contrast.
white.
Milky skin and dark hair.
Really? Because the other day I saw you with a blonde. What's up with that?
You saw me with a blonde?
I'm just calling him out. I'm calling him out live on the
did
air.
not see me with a
Some like
blonde.
German chick, whatever.
German?
Yeah, he's like, I don't even remember.
Do you date the gamut, or are you just strictly?
I'm actually a very good boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll leave that where it's at.
Sure you are. Wink, wink.
I'm on the cusp of a life-changing kind of situation.
Really? What's going on?
Nothing.
You
I'm
wanna-
totally
nothing. I was believing it.
No, but yeah, I think when I was younger and playing in Endeavor After, there was a stage where it was like a fucking buffet, free for all,
Right.
And now as I'm getting a little bit older and wiser, it's a lot more quality over quantity now. And plus, who wants to deal with the fucking headache and bullshit in the morning of someone you don't know and like, why?
Morning?
I can't even stand
What do you mean
Why-
morning?
Why are you here?
Why do you let them stay till the morning?
Because I fall asleep.
It happens. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But
That's very
anyway,
telling.
For whatever circumstance
Hear that, girls?
would bring them to be able to stay over, not to be a dick or anything like that, because it's not like they can't ever stay over. But if they do, maybe you didn't get to know them that much the night before or something,
You're
and
like,
all of a sudden you're like, wow, I can't stand you.
leave.
Why did I do this?
So let's talk a little bit about Endeavor After. That was your previous band, and
Yes.
you were signed to Epic Sony,
yeah.
right?
You were
How
signed.
was
You were a
that?
signed artist.
Yeah, signed touring,
What does
mega.
signed even mean these days?
It means a lot.
What does it even mean? It means that you have some people backing you. It's
Yeah.
a good thing to be signed.
It is a good thing to be signed.
But it's nice that now we're coming to an age where like you don't have to completely depend on that, and you can get your music out there, with the internet, and it's been an amazing tool for musicians.
Well, it's true.
It also puts a lot of shit out there too. But
Yeah. Well, what's happened is because of the internet, you can't sell any records anymore. So there are no record sales.
But at the same time, if your record's good, it doesn't matter if it's not being sold. It's a good promotion tool to get
Right.
people to come see you.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So, yeah, while the internet was great for people seeing you, it was also bad for, being a rock star.
Right. It does. Huh? It makes anyone with a laptop.
Yeah, it's the same thing for like being a model.
star.
Everybody is a model now because they have an iPhone and a computer.
Do one of these.
Yep. So now they're all freaking, supermodels.
But hey, if you can get there, you know what I mean, and get that contract, who are we to hate? You know what I
No,
mean?
I'm not hating.
No,
I'm
definitely
loving.
not hating.
We all got to get there, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how, as long as we get there, I
Luckily,
think.
that now we all have a tool.
Right.
where Our voice can or can't.
Right. And people can hear all your music on your Facebook, which is facebook.com/Michael Grant Official. We encourage you guys to go there and listen to some of the tracks, just like Incendiary, which we just heard. Thank you so much. I know these tracks, they're not out yet, so I think, so we're the first to like debut them.
This is actually like the very first debut. It's kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
It is a big thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, because you can mix a song or work on a song to the ground. So it could be 10 years. It could be a Chinese democracy. Oh, someone's.
So
They're
But it could be like a Chinese democracy situation where you're just mixing it and mastering it and just redoing it over and over again. At some point, it's like, when do you decide? All right, I can totally live with this, and I will never cringe from this mix or
Right.
from this version. Okay, then you hear it a month down the road. You're like, God damn it! Way too much reverb, like
Yeah.
for whatever reason, So it's a big thing to be able to just like, okay,
let go.
let go, let them hear it. Here we go.
Here we go.
So
Here we go now.
And this is your first project that you've done just by yourself without Endeavor,
Yeah.
too. So
That was a big step because you build this like dependency when you're in a band, and every member is a cog working together. Like you're a gang and you're all working together. And when they're gone and it's just you, like in my experience when I was first starting this, it's just like, what do I do? Like, where do I go? Where's my guys at? Like, where's Tommy? Where's Eric? Where's Kristen? Like. It's a scary thing at first. It's kind of like, leaving the pack and like stepping forward into your own light. It was a journey. It was a long journey. There was like a year I didn't know what the hell to do with myself for a while.
Well, you were on top of the game at that point, and then all of a sudden you decided to leave that. What brought you to that decision?
Well, to be honest with you, like I said, I'm a songwriter. I have vast different influences, from pop to rock to jazz to blues to I love electronic music. I produce electronic music actually, and I wanted to have I've always wanted to have like my own band where it's something, and Endeavor After was sort of my big rock and roll fuck you, hats off to all my influences of yesteryear. But towards the end, because we were on the road for like 6 years, and towards the end my heart wasn't truly into it anymore, and I was kind of losing myself as a person and being a douche, just all around douchebag. And I think I'm at a place now where I'm very comfortable with myself, where I'm very comfortable with like what I'm writing, what I'm putting out. I don't really think about it anymore like, I gotta sell records. When it was Endeavor After, I was like hustling. I gotta write the perfect song. It's not that I don't give a shit about writing the perfect song anymore, but I'm just more at peace with where I'm at now, and it makes everything more free-flowing,
That's good, because we were talking
creatively,
about that earlier.
spiritually, mentally, all that shit. So, yeah, it was a weird journey though in the beginning. When we first, basically, I left Endeavor After, and just kind of like disappeared. So I think it might have been like a self-sabotaging move, because deep down, my higher self knew what I really had to do, even though at the time I had no fucking clue.
Right.
Beautifully articulated.
you're like,
To that one.
best
It's funny
decision.
because one of my artists, Dan Reed, the Dan Reed Network, was out on the road with the Rolling Stones and Bon Jovi.
It's my Filipino brother.
Yeah, that's right. And because you look a lot like him, it's frightening. But he is like, on top of his game, and decided to do the exact same thing, except for he shaved his head first.
Right.
And which, if you do that, I will kick your...
Well, you know that I did just take off like 2 feet.
I
of hair.
saw that,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
I actually shed a tear.
Yeah,
when
a
I
lot of
did,
people did.
Yeah, his hair was insane.
It looks better like this.
No, it looks
It was
fantastic.
actually, like we were going back to what we were talking about earlier, it was part of the sort of the reinvention of myself. I feel like we can't, just like Samson and Delilah, we all carry a certain like energy or past in our hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so cutting it was like a big exercise in like letting go of attachments, because I was really attached to it, and people, don't ever fucking cut your hair. Every girl is like, if you cut your hair, I swear to God, I will fucking kill you. Okay? Seriously. Don't do it. And if you do, donate it to me so I can make a wig out of it. And
Did you donate it? You should
I
have.
didn't actually. I was a puss about it and took off about a foot at a time. So it took like 3 sessions before it, looked like this. At first it was like, okay, let's just take a foot off. Cut off
That's
a foot,
insane.
Another foot.
Can you imagine, Turtle, cutting a foot off your hair? That's like insane. That's a lot of freaking hair.
It is, but at the same time, I could see where he's coming from, of just because it's just like me whenever I jump into the pool. I don't jump into pools.
Right.
I'm the guy that I slowly
first, maybe dip my toe in.
Exactly.
Temperature's like, skirt around the edge, maybe have a beer on the side, wait
Exactly.
for it.
Takes me 30 minutes to enter a pool. It's ridiculous.
That's you just like are in your head about it. Then you're
I'm the jump
cold and-
head first in the cold water kind of
Yeah,
person.
me too.
And then whether I instantly regret it or not, I'm just like, well, you did it.
Yep. I know, 15 years old. My parents are having this like coming out party for me in Palm Beach. It's like the big.
Your parents are gay?
My parents are not gay.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And it wasn't that kind of.
I thought you said
party.
coming out party.
It's like a quinceañera.
Quinceañera.
Yeah, like that. It's.
Max trying to
but
speak Spanish.
Yeah, right. In
What does quinceañera mean? Like you're 16?
It's like
15, like
Yeah.
sweet 15.
Sweet 15.
It's in Palm Beach. It's kind of like that, and you show up with like 15 other girls in white ball gowns, and you come down the stairs, and there's guys with like swords, and you know it's like cotillion-ish.
You gotta remember, this is like back in the 1950s.
Right.
So
I think of Filipinos
it
have
happens
something
right now.
similar.
Right.
Yeah,
They do.
I think we call it the same thing, or maybe Did you say
it's kind
cotillion?
she did, yeah.
Cotillion, yeah.
Okay, that's what we call it.
Yeah,
We call it
so-
cotillion.
Oh, see, that's so sexy. Dang. Can you say that again slowly?
Cotillion. Baka meron kang gustong sabihin ko sa aking lengguwahe.
Look at you. I love it.
So I'm coming down the stairs, and like I knew my parents were going to try to sell me off for like a goat and 2 pigeons or something like that. So
I think they can get you for cheaper. Maybe 1 goat. 2 goats. I mean, come on, Max.
no, it was sad. So I had a mohawk when I was standing at the top of the stairs.
Very cool.
Yeah, my parents did not think that was cool at all. They didn't think that was
For a
cool.
second.
But I just jumped in like that, and because I had long hair, and I just
Right.
you
Was
know.
it you instantly regretted it kind of thing?
Absolutely not. No, it was fuchsia too. So I was like combat boots, white ball gown, fuchsia mohawk.
That sounds awesome.
Right? Because
sounds pretty
that's how I
awesome.
had to do it. I was like, it was all or nothing at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt. I wanted to do it all or nothing the first time, but
Yeah.
like the friend that I was with was just like, no, don't take it off. No, just a little bit, and kind of made me second guess
Yeah.
what I really wanted to do.
Yeah. It looks really good though.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
It does look good.
And
Stylish.
and if I can speak about your style real quick, because you're very thin. And here's the thing. I'm not saying I'm thin, but I've lost a lot of weight.
Right.
And you're the only person that I know that has this answer. But I shop at Target, and for my clothes and stuff like that. I'm not like some rock star that just gets
You
stuff
need
thrown
to
at
get
me.
Al Bain to make you some clothes.
Maybe,
He
but
was
was
just
Al
here
Bain?
earlier. He is Al Bain Leathers. He's like insane. He's doing a line of clothing for me called Max Wass's Liquid Body by Al Bain, and it's not going to be leather, but it's going to be like this.
Pleather.
Because I'm not really because I write for PETA and stuff like that. I don't want to.
Vegan leather.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's going to be really, really hot and very rock and roll. But so you should.
Can we maybe go
definitely
against the
have
grain for a custom Michael Grant edition of the line where it's actually leather?
Yeah, no, he would totally
Like
do that. He will totally do that. Al Bain
Cowhide
leather.
or
Al Bain
horse
leather,
hide.
Yeah.
Let's do a horse.
Right.
Well.
Purebred.
But I just need to know
Kidding.
where you get your belts, because I there's like everywhere I go they sell belts, but they're too big.
You know
And-
what is with that? I
Also,
I
Al
actually have a
Bain,
really
get
hard
it
time.
custom made.
I'm a 30, between a 28 to 30 waist, depending on the season. Winter time, definitely going to 30. Right now it's that 30 stage. Turkey has set in. Multiple Christmas dinners and Christmas parties, cookies and pastries. Like, it doesn't end. When it's the winter season, it's like impossible. But for the most part, like, it's kind of. I'm lucky enough to tour around and see a lot of new places, and I always kind of try to ask locally, or if I'm playing like a college town, I'm like, where's like the cool vintage shops, or like where's the cool places around here for antiques or whatever. And then sometimes I'll just get the buckle at one place, and I'll get the belt at one of these vintage shops. And the great thing about vintage gear is, people, I guess, were a lot skinnier back then, because it's easier to find belts from vintage shops that actually fit me when I go to like the mall. Why would I go to the mall? But whenever I do go to the mall, maybe to go to the fucking Apple store, book a Genius appointment, see what's going wrong with my Apple shit. occasionally I'll walk in and try some. Maybe I'll go like the Lucky Brand jeans and hope that there'll be something there. They'll have some cool stuff, but it's all like 36, 38 because I guess people are that size. Averagely here.
Are they? That seems like a Midwest size, like 36.
Right.
I'm going to the Midwest next week. I'll let you know.
Yeah, please. I want you to go around and take pictures of everybody's belts.
Oh God.
And see, so we can compare, and we'll put them on the show.
You know what would be really cool is if you just got a bunch of different belts and then took a photo of them for like your album cover or something like that. I think that'd be cool.
Epic one that I took on the road with me for like years, and it's this brass pot leaf.
Oh, I saw a picture of that.
And that is the one that's like, for some reason, it gets me free weed a lot.
Yeah. Well, you also usually take a picture with that belt with no shirt on.
Yeah, that too.
And honestly, girls, you need to go and look at his pictures because.
Great pecs. Like no meat on it. It's like very nice.
You guys really have to concentrate on my eyes. Great eyes.
Let's
Great
get
eyes.
back to the music.
Oh, that's right. This is a
About
music
the
show.
music.
I wanted to talk to you. You play so many different instruments. It's incredible. You yourself are your own band.
Right.
But why the decision to bring in other guys?
For
The Assassins.
The Assassins are essentially an interchangeable cast of friends of mine who it makes it easy so no one really gets their feelings hurt. Someone can't make a show, I'll have a backup or whatever. But for the most part, when I'm in the studio, I like to be alone or just with an engineer. I don't like to focus on engineering because it totally sucks for my creative juices as soon as I have to think about editing something. Like, I just want to concentrate on playing whatever 12, 15 instruments are there and have someone. I don't like too many cooks in the kitchen. Fuck shit up.
Turtle is the same way.
There's only one cook in this kitchen. That's how it's me.
Imagine if you had another dude in back you'd saying, I don't know if you're doing this right. And it happens.
Yeah.
Usually members will come in, even from my past bands, and I'll have a track that's about halfway done. And I'll tell them, it's rough, it's halfway done, it's going to sound totally different. But they're like, well, I want to hear it. And soon fucking, 30 seconds in, they're like, man, it sounds like a White Snake riff, or it sounds like a Smashing Pumpkins riff. I'm like, it's not even fucking done. Like, they judge it and then they make you second guess, what you would naturally do creatively.
Right.
And that's why I just like to be alone and have a band. I can't perform it live. It would be like rock star karaoke if it was just me and a drum machine, press play, and then I sing and play guitar. I actually really enjoy connecting with musicians, and I get to do that live. What I can't do in the studio, I get to do live.
Thank you so much for letting us play Time Machine. Actually, that was my favorite song that you sent me, and it was my favorite only because I heard the other two, and they were not necessarily alike, but like Incendiary, it was very hard, and then I hear this one, a good contrast to it. So it got me to really start thinking, like, what the hell are you doing?
I think that song would be the perfect song for Doctor Who.
I've never seen that show.
Oh my God, you have to see that show.
Anything with a time machine or time travel.
Well, that's all that it's about.
Telekinesis, teleporting, any tele, really.
Yeah, no, it's sick. That's like the perfect song. And for all of you geeks out there, it's insane. It's so good. I love it. It's very kitschy and funny and sci-fi-ish and ahead of its time. And it's been on for so many years. And there's been so many different doctors, and so yeah, you should check it out. And the time machine that they have, it's like a police phone booth kind of thing from London, and he walks in and then it's like this big huge thing, and it's called the TARDIS.
Right.
And
the tortoise?
The TARDIS. Turtle's like all excited.
Right.
Oh, the TARDIS. No, the TARDIS. But that song Time Machine, I could totally see that on the show.
See, what I would like to come from Time Machine is that the Macs, like Mac hits me up and they're like, because they have Time Machine on their Macs to back up your computer.
Yeah, there you
Maybe
go.
they give me a little
There you go.
endorsement, couple free iPhones, maybe an
Yeah, good luck.
iPad. Huh?
Look into the camera and say it.
Time machine, how perfect is it? Come on.
There's a million things you can do with that song. It's such a good song.
Yeah, very,
It can reach a lot of people.
very folksy. Tell me about your decision for that.
I have, like I said, I have vast influences. You know, folk influence for Bob Dylan, Donovan, you know, Joni Mitchell, and I just wanted to write something that could kind of contend, I suppose. That particular song I wrote with a friend of mine, Sean Berry, who also plays in Michael Grant and the Assassins. He's a multi-instrumentalist as well, so he plays like guitar, bass, and he kind of jumps between.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I was
Him and I
noticing
wrote
him
that
on
song
the last show.
together. I actually wrote it in a bathroom. I was in my buddy's bathroom in Beverly Hills. I wasn't going to the bathroom. I just wanted to go to a quiet place, and every other place in the house was kind of occupied. And I had that riff. We recorded it, and it was one of those songs that kind of wrote itself within like 30 minutes. And it was a song I didn't expect was going to have as much of an impact. But when I do show people, or when I have played shows live, I'm always thinking like, oh, one of these hard numbers is really going to connect. And people come back to me and they're like, your set was great. Loved it. You guys are amazing. But that Time Machine song.
Right.
And I'm like, really? Because I was almost going to take that out of the set.
No.
You know, we usually end up playing shows with all these hard bands. You know, you play the Viper Room or the Whiskey or whatever, and it's all these rah, 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 testosterone, gusto, heavy metal. So you naturally, or I naturally feel a slight trepidation of what songs I should play. I'm like, oh, maybe I should just put the heaviest songs on the bill. And luckily I have some like guiding angels, whether they're in the band or other people, are like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
It's
Or
very
my higher
important.
self just
Yeah, I heard
takes over and just says, you know what? Fuck it. Just do it.
How influenced were you by the bands that you toured with Endeavor After? Because I know you toured with like Cinderella and Poison and Trapped and like
Yeah.
all these phenomenal 80s
I would say a
bands,
lot of the
which is so
80s
totally
bands
unlike you.
influenced me more than any of like the newer bands. No offense to any of the newer bands. I love all you guys. A lot of you are my friends. But you don't influence me.
Sorry.
It's a lot of older bands. I wouldn't say I was influenced by like Poison and Cinderella not because I was like a huge fan of them growing up. It was more because they became like brothers or uncles. But really, they became like brothers and passed down a lot of knowledge and like passed down the torch to Endeavor After, and to me personally, like, you guys are the next rock gods of America. You know, and
Lightning.
CC DeVille he would put on his voice like this, and you know, if there was anything I could do differently, I wouldn't do so much fucking drugs, you know,
Right, yeah.
because I don't even remember like what happened the past 20 years.
Yeah.
He's like, so if there's any wisdom I could like pass down to you kids,
What was I talking about?
oh yeah, that's right. So he, and
I was in a band with CC. So
oh, were you?
I was.
Were you playing in his like punk,
It was-
pop punk kind of project?
It was CC DeVille and the Experience, and
cool.
yeah, it was
He's a
Carmine
sweetheart.
Appice and myself and John Popper and
Wow, that's
yeah.
a cool lineup.
Oh no, it was badass. It was,
And that's very that's a
badass.
very diverse lineup of musicians. John Popper.
Yeah, it was.
Let's say it again. John Popper,
Carmine Appice.
Carmine Appice.
Or Appice, however he's pronouncing
He's
it.
in Vanilla Fudge.
Yeah.
Great band.
Yeah. Yep. So we played a lot of like bluesy kind of stuff and some punk stuff, and
Very
it was
cool.
really fun. He is a character and a half. He would pick me up, just him, in a tour bus, and we go to like
Maxie, get on the bus.
yeah, we're gonna go to lunch. And it's like, we're on
Yeah.
the tour bus. There's two of us, and going to like Gladstones, and there's like, he pulls into like, the into ballet,
Right.
and then what are you gonna do with the tour bus? And they're expecting the whole band to get out, and there's just me and him. It's so funny.
He was such an inspiration, like as a friend. All the guys from Poison, all the guys from Cinderella really, I mean, we had 4 months on the road together.
Yeah.
And
Great guys to learn from.
great
you know?
guys to learn from. Jeff LaBar, the guitarist, him and I became really good friends. And he taught me how to play Led Zeppelin's Rain song.
Oh, nice.
And Eric Brittingham. I mean, I didn't really get close to Tom Kiefer.
He's a
He was always-
sweetheart.
He's a sweetheart. I mean, he was very sweet, but he was always very, like, aloof in his own world. And plus, he had the throat thing going on.
Yeah.
The vocal cord.
Yep, which happens.
Shit.
That's why all of you musicians out there, I want you to listen to me very closely. Stop smoking.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, for real. Musicians don't understand this, especially singers, because they think, oh, it just gives me a
Moderation.
little
Just
edge.
moderation.
Yeah.
It gives me edge. No. What it does.
Gives me edge.
It
gives me that Rod Stewart rasp.
yeah, right. And you see how he's feeling, or ask Eddie Van Halen how he's feeling about it. So,
He's having a hard time.
I'm like encouraging you to
Something tells
please.
me Eddie Van
stop.
Halen smokes a little bit more than me, though.
Look, I love how we're all just looking at Max like, she knows. She knows.
Come on, Max.
I have no
Confirm
idea.
this shit.
but he had mouth cancer. He got mouth cancer. So imagine.
Proof that he smokes way more than me.
Yeah, well, I've watched you smoke. Stop it.
Look at my teeth; they're all white.
Yeah, that's bleaching, honey. That's bleaching.
What do I look
But,
like? Some Hollywood bombshell?
Yes. You very look like a bombshell.
Well, there was the second part of that I was going to say, but I'm not going to go there.
Hey, man, I'm here to confirm stuff, too.
Wait a minute. Let's think about that.
So tell me about this year and what big plans. You're finally releasing this album, or
Finally releasing this album.
name? Is there
It's
a
got
name?
new
of it?
management.
Okay.
Really awesome hot
Really
management
awesome
is what I hear.
management. The name of the record is Anthemia.
You love words that no one can pronounce.
I like words that are unique. Or Anthemia is actually like. It's not an actual word.
Yeah, you have no idea, do
Yeah.
you? You just make them
No,
up.
I made up. I kind of wanted to make up my own word, and Anthemia to me is like songs of a topic that is really worth writing about, anthem style, like songs that make us want to sing, or certain emotions that make us want to sing about them, And there's certain emotions that really bring people together. You ready for this?
We're ready.
The main one being love, sex,
Yeah.
drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, but trust me, Dark Side of the Moon,
Yeah, this is true.
Zeppelin, any Zeppelin, the drugs are prevalent all over that.
I
They
think.
started talking about hobbits for crying out loud.
Well, I think that they were more influenced by
Everybody's
that, by Lord of the Blings, as I call it.
Totally.
It's great.
But I mean, those are kind of like subjects that bring people together. Hate,
That's true.
love, and hate.
Love and hate.
Big ones. And then there's the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and there's the senseless, like, oons oons of the radio.
Oons, oons.
That's oons oons.
That's sweet.
It's just one beat.
Whenever you do that, I always go, it's like.
I love that. That kind of reminds me of Nine Electric. Do you know Nine Electric?
I don't.
They are fantastic, but you have a couple of songs that kind of on that vein a little
We should
bit.
tour together.
You
Play some shows
absolutely should tour with
Max, make it happen.
I will make that happen.
Deal.
You don't even know. I will make that
Bam,
happen.
checks in the mail.
Yep, Nine Electric. This is in my mind. I would do Oedipus, Nine Electric, Downtown Attraction,
brother.
and Michael Grant and the Assassins. That would be fucking phenomenal. Oh,
It would.
sorry, I used a bad word.
I think we should do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's just put it together.
Take Turtle out on the road.
I think so too.
I would love to, and I'd
Road podcast.
yeah, I'd bring my camera and just be embedded with you
Do
guys.
some, like Deont Ward type skits.
Yeah.
I'll wear Dark Side of the Moon shorts and have my dick swinging all over the
Yeah.
place.
When should we plan this tour?
Right now.
I think it's cold right now.
Oh,
So I
okay.
won't
So it's spring.
Unfortunately, you were talking about like what else I have going on. I'm leaving for a tour. I also play guitar for LA Guns. We're leaving for a tour like.
Now, please explain which LA Guns that you're in.
This is the Phil Lewis, Scotty Griffin, and Steve Riley.
Right. So the actual LA Guns.
The actual LA Guns, and yeah, that was funny how I even fell into it. It was kind of just really random. I was rehearsing for Michael Grant and the Assassins, and I was at Cascade Studios in Santa Monica. And I walk in, and they're all outside. I think 2 of them are having a cigarette. They're taking a break. I'm walking in with my guitar. And then they stop me. Phil Lewis stops me. He's like, fucking hell, mate. He's like, who are you? You look great, mate. What's your name? Do you play guitar? You play guitar, right? And I was like, yeah, I play guitar. He's like, do you want to come maybe play with us? And I was like, who are you?
I love it. That's such a genuine, just, hey.
I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was just like, who are you? And he was like, oh, we're in LA Guns, and we've got a tour coming up. I was like, well, I'm just getting to practice for my own. I have a show tonight, and you guys come to the show. And invited them out. They came out, and then the first rehearsal was like a couple days ago, and I think I played like one song, and instantly they were just like, so when are we touring together? I was like, I don't know, you tell me. And now it's like 3 days away, or 2 days away. We leave on Thursday and we tour the Midwest.
Good luck, man.
That's why I told you I'll update you on the Midwesterners' belt sizes.
Yeah.
Exactly. One of my friends, Delana, the amazing South African singer,
She's
Delana.
awesome.
Yeah, she's so hot. She was singing with the other group.
And Motley Crue's together.
Yeah, which that was like a big thing, the whole Motley Crue's.
That was fun. Yeah, one went to the Bahamas, one went to Mexico, somewhere in Mexico.
But Delana was singing with the other version of LA Guns with
Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy. That didn't go so well. Yeah, that was not a pretty scene. But
I hate when a plan doesn't come together.
Yeah. But it worked out. It worked out better for Delana because.
What is she doing now?
She just finished her record, her new record. She's fantastic. She's just such a ballsy singer. I have so much respect for her as a singer.
Yeah, she's got range
and she's an itty bitty, tiny little person.
She's a little
teeny tiny
baby
little,
carrot.
Yeah, I mean her hair. She's got all this like massive dreads, that are usually multicolored, and that stands about 3 feet higher.
To smell really good?
I don't know.
This is
never
an honest
dreaded.
question. Like, I'm not slamming anybody. I just don't know, and I have come into contact with some certain persons who've had dreads that maybe didn't smell the best.
Yeah. Well, she always seems to be.
And I wonder if you can really get in there.
Smelly and good.
And then I heard a rumor of someone who had like fucking spiders growing out of
Ew,
It's
gross.
It's the worst kind of lice, right?
I have,
Maybe you should do some dreads, and then you could, test it out for us.
I should have done it when I had, when I
Yeah,
had
we had the
hair. But
length.
like, you know what? I'm gonna dread it for a week, and then I'm gonna cut the shit out.
yeah, see? That's what you should have done.
I know.
Regret.
Never. Never.
Tom Hazard.
No regrets.
My friend Tom Hazard, who handles Angels and Airways and Oedipus, he is like this big giant guy with his dreads like down to his knees. And every time we go out and we're like having dinner or something, there is a dread in his food. And you just like, just
how does that happen?
Just
terrifying. That sounds
like
terrifying.
So
Every
like
time
Tom,
you have a bowl of soup, you're worried about a lock coming out.
Right, and his are so long. It's
Spiders
like you go to the
crawling out,
bathroom.
like a Tim Burton movie.
Right.
Blech.
Very rock and roll, though. I will say that. Very rock and roll.
It's true. He just did this really cool video with this band called Fire Tiger, who are very hot. There's this girl, Tiffany.
They better be
this
with
guy,
a fucking
James,
name like
and
Fire
Chris.
Tiger.
Yeah, they're.
It'd be bad if you sucked and were very cold and
Right?
you had a name like Fire Tiger.
Exactly. But they did this really cool like Christmas video where he played this like homeless guy and
Homeless Santa?
Yeah, it was kind of not like a Santa, but it was really, really sweet. It was a really sweet video. So you guys should check that out online, firetiger.com, Firetiger / Facebook, Fire Tiger everywhere. They're really cool.
Yeah,
I'm
and
shivering, man.
It is cold at NoHo2 Studios.
it's all right. It's all right. I'm very hairy, so like.
Yeah, he's got his own little fur coat.
Yeah, I do.
Do turtles have hair?
Like those cold poodles at the dog park?
Yeah.
I have on my
He's just
little
like-
poodle jacket here on my hand.
Trying to keep it together and play with the other dogs, but I feel like that.
Every time I think of that, I conjure up whenever like I go into like a model shoot or whatever, and it's cold. And you got the skinny models, and they're just freezing. You know, always.
Yeah, totally.
These two totally always correlate with me. Michael, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Man, you guys are awesome.
Really enjoyed it, and again, thank you so much for letting us play some of your music that isn't even out yet. So for more people that want to just get to know you and get in contact with you, go to your Facebook, facebook.com/Michael Grant Official, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Turtle. Thank you, Max.
We leave you now with "Break Me With You."